Howdy folks, Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. Somebody went shopping yesterday. Let's go. So yes, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware, Friday was when all these new Star Wars toys came out, and there was a big, rush on them and all that other stuff. I waited until yesterday because I had other things to do, and I don't like fighting with crowds and all that stuff. And I had no problem finding the stuff that, some of the stuff that I wanted. I'll get into that in a little bit because there's a lot more to show you there. But yesterday was a very interesting day. I started out with a trip to what we call here locally the Discovery Space Center. And what this is it's a Starship simulator, and it's designed for school groups and or corporate groups or bachelor parties or anybody. Anytime you can get a big group of people together, you can actually go to this simulator, and there are scenarios. You pay a fee for the group, and there are scenarios that you go through in the simulator to simulate a futuristic starship. And we had about 15 people. This was made possible by Dungeon Crawlers Radio, who I have worked with in the past. They actually came to my house here and did a live show right here at the table. And then we did. They actually did an interview with me here about my tavern and all that, which they did an episode on what they also have a YouTube channel called Fandom. I'll put links below here for you guys if you guys want to check any of that stuff out. But anyway, so Dungeon Crawlers Radio is they're the ones that made this possible. They arranged for the group to go through this simulator, and they filmed it as another episode of Fandom that will come up. So you'll actually see video of our mission and all that. So it was initially I thought, well, this is going to be, it'll be interesting and all that, and it'll be fun. But I didn't have great expectations. However, having been through it now, I can say if you are in any way, shape, or form, you consider yourself a role-playing game person, you should do one of these things. Because as you're going through it, you start basically getting immersed in the story, and they make it pretty freaking real. At least at the place I went to. I got to be. I chose to be on the security team. There's all these different positions. There's obviously there's the captain. There's the first officer. There's pilot. There's weapons specialist. There's engineer. There's communications. There's internal communications. There's security. There's all these different positions that have to be filled for the simulator. And I chose security because that's what I did for a very long time in my career. So I felt that it would just come naturally. And I must say that it was me and Jared who actually did the filming. He's a filmmaker. He's the one who does the filming for Fandom. He set up the camera in the back of the room, and then he was the other security person on the bridge. And we were tight. I mean, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I don't want to give anything away in case any of you do simulation, but let's just say we did our jobs. Security on the UCS Everest was tight. So as a result, and everybody else in the simulation, everybody did their jobs. It was an immense amount of fun. And they do a scorecard. They actually evaluate you as you're doing it. The previous record was 75. Now, if you accomplish all of your objectives, for a perfect score, you can get 70 points. we got a perfect score. We got 70 points because we accomplished all of our objectives and there were no casualties, etc. Then they give you bonus points. The previous record was 75, as I said. So whoever it was, the previous team that had the record had gotten 5 bonus points. Our score was 80. We got 10 bonus points, which was apparently unheard of. Because normally they say if anybody gets bonus points, they get 1 or 2. 5 was the previous record. It was pretty abnormal, but we shattered it. We got 80. So that's 10 bonus points for we got 3 points for teamwork and 3 points for risk and all these different things. And it was pretty freaking cool. I would highly recommend it if anybody gets a chance to do one of those simulators. It's basically, it is LARPing, in my opinion. It's live action role playing. I mean, you are taking on these roles as these people, and initially you're kind of joking around, but halfway through, shit gets intense, and you're, next thing you know, you're immersed in this thing, and you're taking it pretty serious. And I'll give you an example. If we didn't do our jobs, halfway through we realized that if we don't do our jobs, this could be a catastrophe. And who wants to be, if you fail the simulation, who wants to be the guy, even though it's just a game and fake and everything, but who wants to be the guy or the gal who let the mission fail, who it was your fault? Nobody. So you get involved and you get immersed, and it's intense. So anyway, I highly recommend if anybody gets a chance to do these space simulators, try it. It's a lot of fun. So then the next thing was, decided to go and check out this new Star Wars toys. So I figured I'd show you real quick what I scored. Believe it or not, with all my stuff behind me and everything, I do not have any Legos. All of my Legos I had before I went in the Army when I was a kid. I had bags full, and my dad got rid of all of them while I was at the Army. I don't know why, he just got rid of all of them. And I've just never, for whatever reason, I've never bought any since. But that is about to change. Well, it did change. Excuse me. So, to start out with, they have these buildable figures right here, and I got Jango Fett. They did not have Boba Fett, although it is confirmed that he did survive the Sarlacc pit, because of Star Wars Battlefront, they show him. So that is officially canon now, that he did survive. So holy shit, Boba Fett is still around. Anyway, so I had to get Jango Fett. I love the Mandalorian, bounty hunters and all. I love that stuff. So I had to get that. Let's see. We'll continue with the Legos here. I had to get this. This is the new speeder from the new movie, and it was, I don't know, I think this one was $20 or something like that. Might have been 25. And it just looked like it would be fine. I figured if I'm going to do some Lego stuff, I'm going to do a few. Let's see here. Get these over here. We'll go into that next. And then the other Lego, the big one that I got was the First Order Snow Speeder. 444 pieces. So I will be putting these together and adding them somewhere here in the tavern. I feel a little bit ashamed that I do not have any Legos up until this point. So I'm trying to rectify that, because I loved them as a kid, and I just never got back into it, once I got back from the Army and found out my dad got rid of all mine. So, got the Star Wars Monopoly, the new Star Wars Monopoly, and one of the reasons was that it has these figures here. I don't know if you can see those or not. You probably won't be able to see those, but there are figures in it. Those are your game pieces, and I somehow, I never intentionally started collecting the Star Wars board games, but somehow I've amassed several of them now. I have the Trivial Pursuits. I have the original Star Wars Trivial Pursuit, and then I have the video The one comes with a DVD, a video Star Wars Trivial Pursuit. I got that one. I've got a couple other ones, other Star Wars board games that I picked up used. So this is one for me and the wife to play. I'm not the type to flip the game board and go bananas and all that, because I like to keep my stuff nice. So there won't be any table flipping videos from me. So next thing was, I got a couple of the Hot Wheels, Star Wars Hot Wheels. I have to get the Millennium Falcon. I love the Millennium Falcon. Just always have, always will. So have to get that, and had to get the X-Wing too, of course. You know, these are actually pretty cheap. These are like $4 or $5 or something. They're not very expensive at all. So, and then there was another Millennium Falcon that that I had to get. This little one here, this little titanium one here. So haven't decided yet how I'm going to display these, if I'm going to leave some of them in the packages and mount them as, you know, mint in box type of a deal. Let's see. And then I also got Luke's speeder, the titanium Luke speeder, because, you know, I'm an old school guy. I love A New Hope, which was, to me, was the first movie, even though, you know, it's actually episode 4, but when in 1977 it was Star Wars. That was it, and so that's kind of reminiscent. There, I like that. And I think that was it for the Star Wars stuff that I scored yesterday. There are little catalogs that you can get wherever you go, and it shows you all the different stuff, all the different Star Wars stuff that's available, and all that. So, and what the hell? That's free. So, you might as well grab it. You know. So that's it for yesterday. I just thought I'd do a quick vlog to go over the Space Center stuff and all the cool Star Wars stuff. So I did have a question for you guys. Did any of you buy any of the new Star Wars stuff? Are you caught up in the madness as well? They know their demographic. They know they've got people my age that grew up watching Star Wars, that were kids when the original Star Wars came. They know they have us. All my buddies are Star Wars nerds. They're going to spend money on this stuff. And then they've got, just like Disney does with their other movies, they introduce a new generation. And then they generate more revenue that way. So they are masterminds at developing a brand or continuing a brand. So anyway, I hope you guys, if you were looking for some of it, I hope you got what you were looking for. And we'll catch you guys on the flip side.